Hi everyone, my name is Jabulile Msiza. I'm a council member of the IGS. I'm South African, female, and we are here at GeoAsia, and I'm sitting with the president of the IGS.
Good morning, Jabulile.
Good morning to you. It's an early morning. I guess we are fresh and ready to chat about diversity. Now, we all have a personal story. I have a personal story. I guess in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion, being a Black female, I'm always the face of diversity because diversity has been so narrow in terms of it being mostly about gender and race, especially in our engineering field. But there's way more. We are a global society, and daily we are reminded that there is way more to this diversity story.
Absolutely.
What is your personal story?
Very early in my childhood, I was aware of my parents' career, and my father was a Methodist, United Methodist minister that started his career as a youth director and moved quickly to work at a church. This was in the late 60s, very early 70s. That tells you how old I am.
I'm not doing
but in the Methodist church at that time, and not just the church, but the surroundings at that time, there was a big narrative in the United States about social justice and integration, and whether it was okay to be gay or not, and whether it was okay to be different, very different, in a number of ways. The government in many places responded to that by policy. And I was in Dallas, Texas in 1971 when busing started. And this was based on a Supreme Court decision, and they took predominantly Black neighborhoods in Dallas and decided to send them to school, kids to school at places where there were predominantly white populations and vice versa. So there was a lot of unrest, and there was a lot of interesting things. So during that period of time, I was going to an elementary school. My family actually moved from San Antonio, where my dad was youth director, to Dallas, and very deliberately he moved us three kids, I'm the youngest of three, to an integrated neighborhood.
Sure.
And he did that out of a belief that he was living into this social justice, we're all one family kind of spirit. And I went to an elementary school, Henry W. Longfellow Elementary School, that was 85% Black students.
So you stood out.
Yes, so I stood out, but also we were so young. You know, I was there from first grade to seventh grade.
Yes.
So we had no idea that skin color mattered, or all my best friends, all my first crushes, just everything in my life didn't know that any of this was important, and I befriended who I befriended. I do remember going to Cub Scout meetings where I was kind of the only white child.
Sure. And I'm sure even though you're raised in a family where race is not an issue, when you go to a society or a club like that, and you're the only one of a certain color,
you take note.
You take note.
Yes,
I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, during that time, we also had, as a Methodist ministry, we had lots of people from all over the world come have dinner with us, from the clergy, from academic community, and I was always at the table listening. They allowed us children to behave politely,
to be at the
and
table,
to listen, as long as we could listen and not fidget, things like that. But what happened in my life when I left Henry W. Longfellow is I got bused, and I got bused to a school full of Black children that had been in predominantly black schools thrust to be with white kids, and white kids thrust to be with black kids, and it was not good. I went from kind of innocence
Yes.
to a war zone.
Exactly.
And I had this big event in my life when I'll never forget her name. Her name was Marley O'Kinnebrew, and she was a very good friend of mine from Longfellow. And she waved to me in the hall, and we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And Jabulile, she was beat up for that because she was interacting with the white person.
And you witnessed all of this.
I did. I saw a little bit of that, and it was
Yeah.
whisked away by teachers, and it was
Yeah.
broken up pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was, she was eventually, she was okay, but it was just traumatic. And I remember lots of
sticks,
long conversations with mom and dad after that.
Yeah.
And the conversation graduated from, yes, this is all wonderful, to it's not always wonderful.
Yes.
And I guess I was 11 years old.
That's
so
really early.
I guess 12 or 13 by the time I was at Cary Middle School. But I think walking away from that, there were 2 or 3 things that I learned. And one was that diversity in general is deliberate.
Yes.
From joining a soccer team to deciding where you're going to send your kids to school to what church you're going to go to, all those things are deliberate, clubby, kind of let's get together if we agree with each other things. Everything else, to assure diversity, to spread awareness of other opinions and people that disagree with you, is a conscious, deliberate decision to do that. And so diversity is work, and it's deliberate, and it's a verb, right? It's not a status, it's a verb, and we have to work towards that. So I think that's the kind of where I got my first sense that it's not okay all the time. And if you want something to achieve a representativeness or achieve diversity, then you've got to go make that happen. You've got to put that work in.
You've got to do the hard things.
Exactly.